Hi everyone! Today I will be walking you through me and my group mates' lesson plan and highlight the most important parts of how it supports all learners within students. This is a third grade lesson focus of how students can use natural resources and how those actions can impact the environment. And as I go through it, I will explain how our teaching choices supports inclusion and engagement learning for all students as well. So let's get started. So to start off our lesson, it is based off a asset-based mindset. So this is where we believe that students are already coming into the classroom with knowledge and creativity and experiences from their own lives as well. So instead of just giving them random information or boring information, we wanted to build on what they already know. So for example, students are encouraged to connect with the lesson by their own communities and just sharing their ideas with each other. So as in just like students to student, as in partner wise, or even student to teachers as well, they could also share their ideas with us as well. And we also wanted to focus on just making learning very engaging and interactive, because that's where students learn best, when they are involved in interests within the lesson, where we just don't want to make the lesson boring for them to learn. We just wanted to make it fun instead. And for our learning objective that we put, which I'll put right here, is that scholars would be able to trace how people use local resources and modify their physical environment by a diagram, scrapbook, or journal, including 8 items. So knowing that students can choose the way how they want to learn through a diagram, scrapbook, or journal, like we said in our learning objective, I feel like this really supports the universal design for learning, UDL. So I feel like it just gives very multiple ways of just learning and expressing understanding as well within students. And I feel like it also supports cultural sustaining pedagogy as well, because since students can bring their own experiences and perspective with the lesson, and we also are including translanguaging, because it allows students to also use their home. We also want to allow students to use their home language when discussing with students or with us, or just brainstorming ideas too, which can also help multilingual learners to fully participate in our lesson as well. So at the beginning of our lesson, we wanted to focus on engaging students by connecting with what they already know, like I said in the beginning. For example, I feel like for us as teachers, we will ask them questions as in, where does water or food come from in our community? And this is the time that students can turn and talk to their partners. They can even talk to us as well as teachers. And after that, they would share their ideas within the classroom as well, just to get a more knowledge within other students that they didn't get to talk to. And I feel like this also approach support from social justice education, because it connects learning to real life experiences and communities as well. And it also supports anti-racism, because we wanted to make sure as teachers that every student's voices is valued and respected. And we just wanted to create a classroom where all students can feel safe when sharing their ideas as well. And during that engage in opening time, we could also show them our AI video, just to get them a little more knowledge of what our lesson is going to be about and what they're going to be learning. As we move into our guided practice, this is where students are beginning to apply what we are already going to be learning, as in seeing the AI video and just engaging with opening questions as well. And this is where we could also be supporting or providing like visuals, like picture-wise, sentence starters, and examples. And this just reflects on UDL, because we are reducing barriers and just supporting different learning needs as well within students. And we also consider intersectionality as well, because it recognizes that students do have different identities and needs at the same time. So for example, a student might need both languages to help and to not help, but support and help stay focused. So we do want to provide very flexible options for them to support them. And during that time, we could also be asking them very higher level questions like, is this a positive or negative impact, and why? And this could just make them think more deeply into it. And during this practice as well, we could be having these kind of worksheets, except the checklist, for them to just practice of our lesson and just getting a little bit more dipping the toes, kind of feeling within the lesson for them to know more before starting our formative and summative assessments as well. Now, into the main part of our lesson, this is where students are now creating their project within 8 examples that we asked them to do. And this acts as a formative assessment, I would say, because we are checking understanding while students are learning and also working. And students can also work independently or with a partner, which encourage collaboration as well. And this can also support cultural sustaining pedagogy, because students can include examples from their own communities and also making learning more meaningful as well. And we also have a formative assessment worksheet here that students can be doing when they're doing the project. And knowing that they have to do a diagram, scrapbook, or journal, we also have a diagram worksheet as well here. And for the scrapbook and journal, this is where they could go really free on hands. So as a scrapbook, obviously we would just have images out. They could cut it out and paste it on their notebooks and just write their 8 examples just like that. Or as in journal, you can honestly just draw your own pictures and write your own examples as well. And knowing that they will be having laptops for them to find more information and ideas from it, they would have a better chance of seeing more picture-wise and examples when having the laptops too. So I also want to add that point as well. Now for the summative assessments, this is where students are now completed with their final project, and this is where we'll be using our checklist to make sure that they included all of the 8 items and item/examples that we want them to do, and clearly explain each one. And this assessment is just very engaging, because we just want students to have very different ways of just showing their learning instead of just being limited to one format, which is the boring one that I would say. But students can also reflect on their work as well, and which can help them understand what they already learned and how they can improve as well. So to close the lesson, I feel like students can just share their work with their classmates, with us as teachers, and as a whole class at the end of the day, and just connecting it to the real life as well. And we'll ask them questions like, how does people impact the environment in the community now? And this can help students could just see the lesson applies more of the outside of the classroom and why it matters. So overall, this lesson is designed to support all learners, but we just want them to be more engaging, inclusive, and just flexible, and just using these strategies like UDL, culturally sustaining pedagogy, social justice education, translanguaging, anti-racism, and etc. We just wanted to create a learning environment where every student has the opportunity to success and learn from all of the parts that we want to get them into one lesson.